Hi everyone, it's Farah, and in this video I'll tell you the very biggest mistake that we working busy moms make, and even better, how we can fix it. So let's just cut to the chase. What is the big mistake? To me, the biggest mistake that we make as busy working moms is not having a written plan. So if we want to make good family memories instead of letting the precious few moments of our kids' lives pass us by, I think it's important that we're proactive instead of reactive to our lives. And it may sound really obvious, but how many of us have had just a busy week, an overwhelming weekend? All we want to do on a Sunday is nothing, like literally nothing, until we fall asleep. And then we wake up in a panic because we forgot about something that we need or something our kiddos need. That's been me. So I totally get it. Absolutely get it. I've been there. I'm sure I'll probably be there again, depending on what life throws at me. But for as much of life as we can control, we do have this incredible power to take control of our lives, take charge of our weeks, and just set them up so that they set us up for success and for the lives that we really want to live, and making memories that we want to make, not letting life control us. So the first step to dealing with this problem is to pick a planner. So it can be anything. It could be a bullet journal style if you're into that. It could be just a, shaky camera, nervous recorder, but it can be anything. It could be an app, a calendar, physical or digital. It could be just a standard, weekly planner or monthly planner, whatever works for you. And then, you can have like fun pens or whatever, but, start out with the basics, because the whole point right now of this first step is we want to get everything out of our brains onto paper to clear up our brain space. That is the point. So I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I would say in terms of picking a planner, choose something, try it out for about 2 months, and then go from there. If it's working well for you after that time, then great, you've found your thing. And then if not, try it out, switch to something else that you think might be a little bit better for you. And then the second step would be write down the boring stuff. So I'll never forget somebody, I don't remember, I guess it must have been like a coworker or something like that, but they saw a morning list that I had, and they were like, "You write down brushing your teeth and getting dressed? Don't you do that every day? Like, why would you write that down?" And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. I write down all the boring stuff, and it's what I said earlier. It's just about getting it out of my head onto a piece of paper. There's something that doesn't add to all of the information that I have to keep in my head, all of the things that I have to do. For me personally, I work full-time and I'm a single mom, and so it's just like there's an infinite number of things that I need to remember. When I can get rid of things to remember, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get rid of it so that I can just give my full attention where I want to give it. So I think of 2 scenarios as an example. One scenario, you wake up a few minutes late on a school day or work day, whatever, and then immediately you're hit with anxiety because you're trying to decide, what do I do? Like, should I hurry up, get up, go brush my teeth, go take a shower before I wake the kids up so that I can get that stuff done? But then you're like, okay, but I don't know, do we have time for that? Should I wake them up so they can get ready while I'm getting ready? And then I don't know, oh my God, what should I tell them to do first? Should I have them get dressed first? Should I make their lunch, have them make their lunch? What am I doing? And then of course, when you're right in the middle of that is when one of them is going to be like, "Oh my God, Mom, can I tell you about this magical unicorn daydream?" Or dream that I had last night, or whatever. They're going to come up and hit you with something random, or they're going to be like, what's that commercial? the girl asks her mom something like, do crabs have eyebrows? Or like something like that. Like inevitably always they're gonna come and they're gonna hit you with something. And then on top of that, especially if you're a mom who actually like wants your kid to feel heard and you want them to know they're important, then you're thinking in your head, okay, yeah, like I want to say yes, please tell me, please talk to me, but then like, oh my God, I have to focus. Like I can't just stop everything I'm doing, or I can't, you're like in analysis paralysis. That happens to me a lot. Okay, so if you have been there, you are like me, I get it. But anyway, this is like our first scenario. So we're stressing out and all this stuff is happening and our kid is gonna, be a kid, but it's like, it's interrupting. We feel bad if we want to tell them, maybe tell us later or whatever. Or in the second scenario, you wake up late on a school and work morning and, immediately like, oh crap, I have less time to do everything that I need to do. But then you grab your morning list and you're like, it's okay, it's kind of annoying because I wanted to enjoy my time, but at least I know what's going to be done. And then, you run, you go brush your teeth because that's just the first thing that you do in the morning, or at least like for me, for a long time, that was like my very first thing. As soon as I'm awake, like I'm going to go brush my teeth immediately. My morning list looks a little bit different now than it did, but anyhow, you get that, you grab your morning list, you look at it, and you're like, okay, knocked this thing out, go wake up the kids. Then the kid hits you with the random thing that they want to tell you about for a really long time. And you're like, yes, yeah, tell me all about it while you're getting dressed. And then you can tell me the rest after I get out of the shower. So what they're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be doing. And then even though you're running behind, you're still not as stressed out because you know that all of the things are going to be done. And whenever those moments you can't prepare for, let me just say right now, you should prepare for your kids to do something you're not prepared for. Okay, like that is something that is inevitable. But no, I think it helps to have all of those things because then you will know I'm not going to forget something in my haste. So that's why it helps to put down the boring stuff. And I hope I have sold you on writing down all of your very boring things. Again, if you're anything like me, and if you're a working mom, you probably are, okay? Like, me personally, again, I'm a single working mom. So it's a lot. It's a lot. If you're in my situation or anything even close to it, you absolutely have a bajillion things in your brain going on at any given time. So get that stuff out of there. Get it all out of there. And then my third step is going to be add the bells and whistles. So that is the fun part. So this is where you can get the colored pens, you can get stickers, you can get creative and do different things like sometimes I will write down for the week 3 things I'm grateful for. Sometimes I'll write down an inspiring quote or write a note to my future self, like, hey, next month is usually hard for me mentally, maybe. I haven't mentioned in this video, but for me, I'm neurodivergent. I have some mental illnesses that I think certain traumatic events or certain dates can remind me of certain traumatic events, things like that. So, giving myself a little bit of extra love on those days, like writing a little bit of a note to myself so that I can see it. And then when that time comes, then I'll be more, in a better mood. That's something that I do. I do like to get stickers, schedule things ahead of time. Now that I've kind of been keeping track of what happens in my life in a year, I can go ahead and try to schedule ahead of time when I want to start working on or planning on certain things or events for the current year. So that's what I do. So now we know that the number one mistake that busy working moms make is not having a written plan. For me personally, I would say I've kind of figured out what I like to have as a planner. So that's something that I absolutely recommend is finding what works for you, finding a planner that works for you, whether you're a digital person or a paper person. For me personally, if this helps anyone, I like to be able to open a spread where I see my week and then I have a summary page before, well, at the beginning of every single month that shows me like the month at a glance. And then I, flip over and I see week by week. Then for a morning list or for a routine, I grab a Post-it note, or I get just a blank piece of copy paper or a blank piece of colored paper, and I like to just write it out randomly. I am more of a naturally right-brained person, so organization is not my natural inclination. Like, these are things that I have learned. So for me, having a blank space to write out this sort of to-do list, quote unquote, it feels less restrictive. It feels less scary and intimidating because I can just let my thoughts flow freely without having to, stay within the lines or like do a line by line and then whatever, feel depressed that I'm like, oh, I checked off that one and not this one, but only that, yeah, if you know, you know. So find what works for you. If you don't know what works for you, again, I recommend trying something out for about 2 months. And then if it's not going up well for you, then try something else. And then write down all your boring stuff. Again, this is for me, if I sit down to work on a month, I'll usually put work, drop off, pick up, trash day, payday, all of this stuff that it's going to keep coming every single whatever week or day, or the things that we know are coming up. Sometimes bills. There have been years whenever I've kept a separate bill tracker, like its own separate book, and then there have been years where I will put my bill tracking in my same planner. So just depends on, again, what works for you. And then writing down all that stuff, then I can go back in and do the fun stuff that I'm talking about, like putting in quotes, or I'll find, like, sometimes on a weekly basis, I'll go online and I'll see if there's like a fun event or a place that I haven't been yet, or something like that my family can do for the upcoming weekend, or setting up a play date or whatever. That stuff is fun to me. I like to do that. So getting the boring stuff in there, doing the fun stuff, go crazy, start out with the basics, because the point of it is to help you live a life that you have designed. So this is where we start. Start out with the basics, make sure you're writing things down, and then you can go back and you can read them. They're legible to you. And then once you kind of get comfortable with that, you get in a rhythm, then you can go back and put in all your little stickers and write yourself the little quotes, or reflect on the week and say what you're grateful for, or anything like that, whatever helps you. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I hope that it brings you some value, and I want you to comment if you're able, if you are in the group, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and comment, what is your favorite type of planner? What type of planning tool works best for you? Are you more digital? Is there an app that you can share that maybe those of us who've never seen it before, we would benefit from? Are you a paper and pen person? Are you good at calligraphy? Like, how do you like to do it? So just let me know. And if you like this video, and if you would like to see more videos about helping yourself go from stressed and overwhelmed to living a life that you love as a busy mom, please subscribe, and you can check out my school community, Well Planned Working Mom. Thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing day, and thanks for watching the whole video.